Unit 3, Chapter 8, Cell, the Unit of Life. In this chapter, we are going to see what is a cell, cell theory, and overview of cells, prokaryotic cells, and eukaryotic cells. So, what is cell? Basically, unicellular organisms are capable of independent existence and performing essential functions of life. Anything less than complete structure of cell does not ensure independent living. Hence, cell is the fundamental and structural unit of life of living organism. See the cell theory 8.2. In 1838, Malthius Schilden, a German botanist, examined a large number of plants and observed that all plants are composed of different kinds of cells which form the tissue of the plant. At about the same time, Theodore Schwann, British zoologist, studied different types of animal cells and reported that cells had thin outer layer which is today known as plasma membrane. 8.3 An overview of cells. You have earlier observed the cells in onion peel and or human cheek cells under the microscope. Let us call it the structures. The onion cell, which is typically plant cell, has distinct cell as well as the outer boundary, and just within its cell membrane. The cells of human cheek have an outer membrane as the delimiting structures of the cell. Inside each cell is a dense membrane-bound structure called nucleus. This nucleus contains the chromosome, which in turn contains genetic material. DNA cells that have membrane-bound nuclei are called eukaryotic cells, whereas cells that lack membrane-bound nucleus are called prokaryotic cells. Now let's see 8.4 prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells are represented by bacteria, Brugglin, algae, plasma, pleuropneumonia-like cells. They are generally smaller and multiply more rapidly than the eukaryotic cells. They have greatly in shape and size. Four basic shapes. Bacteria are Bacillus, Coccus, Vibrio, and Spirillum. The organization of prokaryotic cells is fundamentally similar, even though prokaryotic exhibit a wide variety of shapes and functions. All prokaryotic cells have cell walls surrounding the cell membrane, fluid matrix filling the cells. In cytoplasm, there is no well-defined nucleus. The genetic material is basically naked, not even enveloped by nuclear membrane in addition to genomic DNA. Many bacteria have smaller circular DNA outside the genomic DNA. These cells' DNA are called plasmids. The plasmids' DNA confers certain unique phenotype characteristics to such bacteria. One such character is resistance to antibiotics. In higher classes of you will learn that there is plasmid DNA is used to monitor bacterial transformation with foreign DNA. Nuclear membrane is found in eukaryotic. No organelles like the ones in eukaryotic are found in prokaryotic cells. Except for ribosomes, prokaryotic have something unique in the form of inclusions. A specialized differentiated form of cell membrane called mesosomes is the characteristics of prokaryotic. They are essentially enfoldings of cell membrane. Now let's come to 8.5 eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic include all the protist plants, animals, and fungi. In eukaryotic cells, there is an extensive compartmentalization of cytoplasm through the presence of membrane-bound organisms. Eukaryotic cells possess an organized nucleus with a nuclear envelope. In addition, eukaryotic cells have a variety of complex locomotory and cytoskeletal structures. The genetic material is organized into chromosomes. All eukaryotic cells are not identical. Plants and animal cells are different, as the former possesses cell walls, plastids, and a large central vacuole which are absent in animals. On the other hand, animal cells have centrioles which are absent in almost all of the plant cells. Now let's summarize about the cell membrane. 8.5.1 NCRT. The detailed structure of membrane was studied only after the advent of electron microscopy in 1950s. Meanwhile, chemical studies on the cell membrane, especially in the human red blood cells, enabled the scientists to deduce the possible structures of plasma membrane. These studies showed that the cell membrane is composed of lipids that are arranged in bilayer. Also, lipids are arranged within the membrane with a polar head towards the outer side of the hydrophobic tails towards the inner part. This ensures that the non-polar tail of saturated hydrocarbons is protected from aqueous movement. The lipid component of membrane mainly consists of phosphoglycerides. Later, biochemical investigations clearly revealed that the cell membrane also possesses proteins and carbohydrates. The ratio protein of lipid varies considerably in different cell types. In human beings, the membrane of erythrocytes has approximately 52% of protein and 40% of lipids. Depending on the ease of extraction, membrane protein can be classified as integral or peripheral. Peripheral protein lies on the surface of cell membrane, while the integral protein are partially or totally buried in the membrane. You can see figure 8.4 for fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane. Then there are some summaries given regarding to endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, vacuoles, mitochondria, plastids, and finally ribosomes and cytoskeletons. Then cilia and phlegia, and after that nucleus is given, which is important part of the cell. Now let's see about 8.5.10. Nucleus or cell organelles was first described by Robert Brown as early as 1831. Later the material of nucleus stained by basic dyes was given name of chromatin by Fleming. When we see the structure of nucleus, figure 8 point, and structure of nucleus consists of nucleoplasm, nucleolus, nuclear pore, nuclear membrane. The interface nucleus has highly extended and elaborated nucleoprotein fibrous called chromatin, nuclear matrix, and one or more spherical bodies are called nucleoli. You should be clear about this. The nuclear matrix of nucleoplasm contains nucleolus and chromatin. The nucleoli are spherical structure present in the nucleoplasm. That contains nucleolus is continuous with rest of the nucleoplasm, as it is not membrane bound structure. It is a site for active ribosomal RNA synthesis. Larger and more the numerous nucleoli are present in cell actively carrying out protein synthesis. You may recall that the interface nucleus has loose and indistinct network of nucleoprotein fibers called chromatin. But during different stages of cell division, cells show structured or chromosomes in the place of nucleus. Chromatin contains DNA and some basic proteins called histones. Some non-histone proteins are also RNA. A single human cell has approximately 2-meter long thread DNA distributed among its 46 chromosomes. You will study the details of DNA packaging in the form of chromosomes in class 12th. You can see figure 8.12 in NCERT, types of chromosome based on position of centromere. Then we have last topic is microbodies, that is 8.5.11. Many membrane bound proteins, many membrane bound minute vesicles called microbodies that contain various enzymes are present in both plants and animals. Here we finish the chapter. Thank you.